Hello and welcome to a video you did not search for. My name is Keely and in today's video, oh my god, I'm going to be going down the cringe train today because I'm going to be reviewing or reacting or kind of just watching and letting you know how I feel about it. It's a show called Battlefront. It's by Channel 4 and Raw TV, I think it's called. I should know better. It's from 2012 and there's a series, so this is series 4, episode 2. And guys, this show happens to be about me. So yeah, this is my episode. So let me rewind back. So back in 2012, I applied to be on a documentary which was about youth unemployment because at the time I was not employed. Being a very young mum and having young kids and not affording childcare and having the family situation that I had, which means they weren't able to or didn't want to look after my children so I can go to work, and then dad not being around. So yeah, so I was a single parent back then. So lots of things, I was just like, do you know what, let me go for this show. I've been doing lots of volunteering by then and I think something in the volunteering circle brought this up. So I applied. For some reason I was chosen, so there was 4 of us out of I think at least 100 people auditioned, and I got chosen. I was one of the 4 and each of us had an episode, hence the four episodes for the season. Previously this had only been online, but this was the first series they were going to air on TV, which never happened. Why? Well, because we had in Ava's episode, so there was 4 of us, there was Miles, Chelsea, myself and Ava. In Ava's episode, which I think is the second or 4th, I'm not sure, she interviewed a publicist by the name of Max Clifford. Some of you may know who he is, some of you may not have a clue. He's a UK publicist. He was like friends with Simon Cowell and things like that. He ended up being basically a paedophile, and he had relationships with like sexual encounters with girls from the age of 15 to 19. And he was just a bit of an all-round jerk. He's dead now, he died, he went to prison. But yeah, he was in one of the episodes, and this was at the time of the U-Tree trials. Basically it was like a paedophile or sex ring of celebrities, and they were kind of honing down on it. So by the time our show was supposed to be going out, this was big news in the UK, on all the papers, on the news, so we can air a programme with him in it. So they edited it, redo it, and then by the time they were able to do it, they told us it wasn't relevant enough for it to be out on Channel 4 anymore, so it went online. So you can still watch it. It's on 4all, which is the online Channel 4 platform, so you can go see it. I'll leave the link below if you want to check out. But yeah, they were gearing us up for it being on air. We had to have like psychology tests and things to make sure we can deal with people recognising us in the streets and things like that. So yeah, I was prepared for it to go out and have people criticise me in the streets and whatever for being a single mum. That doesn't work. Yeah, I am working now, guys. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch this show. Yeah, let's have a look how cringy. I know for a fact I'm gonna cringe at my hair because I had no idea what I was doing with makeup, hair and dress sense back then.
There are currently almost 1 million young unemployed people in the UK, and
if there was a job available, then I would take it in a heartbeat.
We found 4 unemployed and underemployed young people and given them a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Meet Chelsea, Miles, Keely and Ava.
Mate, by young unemployed people!
They've been matched with 4 expert mentors who've been tasked with getting them into work. James Carr, John Higginson, Hayley Taylor and Mr. Drew.
Do you think the world owes you a job?
Our Fab 4 will be given an office space and a mission which will test them to the limit.
You're the voice of all the unemployed people.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm really scared.
And they'll be supported by celebrities.
My purpose today is...
as they try to pull off some major stunts to impress the employers of Britain.
We're here today to show you that we are employable.
4 young people, 1 mission, to get themselves a job.
Well done, guys. Really, really proud of you.
I'm cringing already. Just the title. Yeah.
In this programme, we'll be following 23-year-old unemployed Keely from West London.
Do you know what I think is interesting here? Oh, look at this. Oh my god. Anyway, they filmed me outside of the block I didn't even live in. Like, I'm grateful because like anyone that doesn't know me that wanted to find me, I don't know why that would happen, but just say in a world where it would, at least they wouldn't know where I live because it's not actually my block. However, my block looks nicer than this. It's not nice because it still has Grenfell cladding, and like if someone has a fire in this block, it could happen all over again, and that terrifies me. But it doesn't look like this. It looks nicer, and I think you see the way TV shows can manipulate things. Look how small they are!
Of 2 young children, aged 4 and 2.
I complain about my eyebrows now, but oh my god, girl, get a pencil!
I live on a council estate.
Look how small they are!
I am on benefits. I do feel quite...
Oh, I feel like Mike Pence. There was a fly in the room and it kept on being in shot. Oh, it's so annoying.
To the situation that I'm in, there's the benefit trap, as they call it, and unfortunately, yeah, it's real.
Here, don't run off.
Kealy worked before having kids and desperately wants to earn a living, but most of the jobs she's qualified for don't pay enough to cover childcare.
I don't think I can express, like, seriously, how much I would like to work at the moment. If there was a job available that was the right wage, then I would take it in a heartbeat.
Kealy now does voluntary work to try and improve her job prospects, but so far, it's not led to a paid job.
I think the impact on my kids is that they don't get to do things that other kids might do. The only...
Right, so this still plays on my mind because now I work with children and I see them going off to ballet lessons and theatre and doing karate and whatever else, football, and they're doing all these extracurricular activities because their parents can afford it, and it just reinforces the need of subsidised things for children that cannot afford it. And I know some people are like, well, if you can't afford children, why have them? Well, it's not always the case. I personally had children because I was feeling at that time a lack of love and I wanted to create love for myself. It's another video, we'll go into it another time. But yeah, so it just means I wasn't in a position, and to be fair, at the time as well, there was 2 parents and now I became a single parent, so the situation might have, okay, not with this parent, but if there was a parent. Oh, I don't know how to do this without offending someone in this video because it's not time to spill the tea, but yeah, I just feel like sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes parents split, sometimes parents die, whatever, and you are not in a position to allow your children to fully flourish. When I was younger, there was so many free activities from our government. I mean, it was a Labour government, but there were so many free activities. There was theatre clubs and sports were free after school. Like, if I told you for my children just to run around now and play football, it's like £60 a term. Like, why? Why? Like, stop cutting costs to schools, government. Shit. Sorry, language. Man. Anyway, let's continue.
really give them is the free museums and to do that and the parks and stuff. The money situation is definitely straight in, straight out.
Kealy's parents were on benefits and she's desperate to break them.
See, again, this is like the family I grew up in, my adoptive family. My mum worked. She worked all the time. My dad didn't because he was a stay-at-home dad and he got quite ill. And it was just like a downward spiral until he died. But my family I grew up in, it was working class, but it was working, and this makes it look like it's a kind of chain, which does happen to some people. However, in my case, the family I told them about being on benefits because obviously they needed good telly was my schizophrenic parents, because they can't work because they're a danger to society and themselves. So in order for them to stay alive, they are receiving state benefits.
You actually have to think.
Look at that hair! Oh my god, terrible! Go!
You look hard before you have kids and make the right decisions. And I obviously didn't make the right decisions. I love my kids to bits, but I've really got to work hard to give them not even a comfortable life, just a life that we're not struggling. And sorry, work really hard at it and make sure it works. Yeah.
Wow, I'm welling up only because I'm working now. I'm working very hard. My partner works very hard. Our tax bracket does mean we don't get any help with anything. We don't get help with rent or anything, which is fine. I'm glad that like taxes are going to people that actually really, really need the help. Like I can afford my rent and stuff. But the other day my daughter was like, they thought we were okay, like not well off. They know we're not rich, but they thought we were okay. And then the other day, my daughter said to me, like, Mum, we really are poor, aren't we? And I was just like, damn, like, you used to say it when you were younger, but now I thought she was like, okay, no, we're comfortable, we have a car and whatever else, and you're feeling like, like I can afford to give you money to go out with your friends and stuff like that. But then when she basically put herself side to side with her best friend that just had a birthday and the things she got, and she was just like, wow, my mum doesn't buy those kind of things for me because she can't afford it, and holidays and whatever else. And I just told her, like, don't feel down, be lucky that you're in the position that you are in now, that you can afford certain things and we're not living on literal breadline like we used to. Like, at the time of filming this, between 2010, oh no, actually no, from between when they were conceived, basically, when I was 18 and like 2014, that was a very hard financial period for me. There was often times that I would go without eating so my children can eat. There was times that I would break down at the bank because I was minus so much that, one, I knew I was going to get charged by the bank, two, I wouldn't have enough money to pay bills, and three, I couldn't afford food. And I was lucky at that time that there was a few friends that were amazing, and occasionally my mum and their grandmother would help out, but it wasn't all the time. This is not a pity story. There are people worse off than me. I'm just trying to put it into perspective for anyone that is thinking of having children and financially cannot afford it. Just think twice. Like, I love my children, but seeing your children sad because you cannot, like, it's not about materialistic things either, but we're in a society that it will affect your mental health, putting it bluntly.
Now Kealy has an incredible opportunity to help her get back into work and off benefits. She's been teamed with a top mentor, multi-millionaire James Carr. James heads up over 30 businesses and is one of Britain's most successful entrepreneurs. Today, Kealy's meeting him for the first time.
Right now we're outside James Carr's office. I'm going to really...
What is that fringe? I can see why my partner hates fringes. Like, if you got fringe, you're doing it well. But this is not fringe. What is it? What is that? I don't know what that is. Honestly. Can you see what I said about the eyebrows in the last video? I have no eyebrows. They're non-existent. But what is that fringe? Honestly. Sort it out, love.
But really nervous at the same time.
James thinks one option for Kealy as a single mum could be to start her own business. Do you want to just set the scene for me a bit, Kealy?
Kids that you should have a work ethic. You shouldn't really be sponging off the benefit system if you're able to work.
I think it's very commendable, Kealy.
Can I just say, like, off camera, he was so lovely, and he really did give me really good advice. Not only that they got in touch with the Prince's Trust, and I went on a course about enterprising. This was all off camera, and I went on an enterprise course, and I learned so much. And I did try and start a business, but I did not have to get up and go. Like, I know I'm saying I do it for my kids, but I really was lacking motivation to... I just found it very hard juggling 2 young children and trying to do a business and not being tech savvy at all, website savvy, not knowing much about buying or selling on the internet. Because before the show, I very rarely bought things online because I didn't trust it, I couldn't see it, my money was very precious to me, so I wanted to see where it was going. I can't just purchase something that isn't physical. Like, yeah, there was a lot of psychological things behind this.
Running her own business could really help Kealy. It means flexible hours and the option to work from home, which would reduce the cost of childcare. So James has come up with a mission for her to see if she's got what it takes to become her own boss.
So in order for you not to have to sit through what I just sat through, I'm gonna minimise it. So the task of the show, basically, for me, so each show we had a mission. My mission was to open up a pop-up shop for a day on a budget of £150 for each person I was working with, so I had to employ 2 other people and to make a profit on what we were selling.
I really liked Kealy, and I was very encouraged about the fact that she wants to get off benefits and do her own thing and break that trap. I'd love to see her succeed, I really would.
There's a whole list of things I need to do. I've got to get the stock and make sure I've got the location, and I've got to try and flag a lot of things as well.
What if I don't get this done in time? Those kind of things keep running through my head. Kealy here.
First, Kealy finds her 2 unemployed recruits who are also keen to test out their business potential.
Can I just say, in terms of TV shows go, I had to do all this for real. Like, for real. I had to ring around, I had to interview people, I had to try and find people. Not only that, we were working behind the scenes to find like the music for our episodes, and basically we became runners as well as starring in the show. So it gave me a good insight into how television production works, which is a really good experience actually. It was one of the best jobs I've ever had, hands down. Because it was a job, I got paid like a regular wage because it was a regular job for I think 3 or 4 months.
Bye.
Katie's in the same position as many school leavers.
I've just finished my A-levels and
I have no idea what's happened to Katie. I never kept in touch. Never kept in touch. She was lovely. I never kept in touch. I know the other guy, I've got him on social media, but I have no idea what happened to Katie. Katie, if you ever see this, send me a message. How are you doing? Have you got a company? Are you doing your designs? I would love to know.
And Lamar's been turned down for countless jobs.
I've been looking for a job next up forever. I want to be good inspiration for my 2 kids.
Kealy, Katie and Lamar will each receive £150 to spend on buying or creating products to sell in the pop-up shop.
oh goodness.
She's following James Caan's advice to try and maximise her profit.
Can I just say, after the show, I bought so many bow ties to do the business for real, right? I met up with a millionaire via the Prince's Trust. What I want to say is I still have bow ties in this house, guys. And yeah, when my kids have birthday parties to go to, more times than none, the child gets a bow tie because 1, I do not have money to be buying loads of presents, and 2, I have so many bow ties.
So basically buy the bow ties in wholesale, and then
Why did I say wholesale like that? Wholesale. What was that? What was that?
them. So what I thought is I'll buy them like that, but then maybe do a few of them customised so I can put the price up.
If I'm being really honest, I've got butterflies in my belly. Like, I feel quite sick. I mean, people spend money over the internet every day that I'm just not used to it.
Up shop day.
Can I say, to this day, I still do not like spending a lot of money over the internet. Even in the jobs when it's not my money, I am still trying to spend the least amount of money. I was without money for so long that that kind of mentality is still in my brain, if that makes sense.
James needs Kealy to
It's in
sharpen up her
Birmingham,
business skills.
I think.
He's had an idea
Yeah,
which should
I
help.
think it's in Birmingham. Don't think I've been to Birmingham before this.
quick catch up with you.
We haven't found a location yet, but I have sourced where I'm going to buy my products from.
Where was
So
Zoom,
trying to work
eh?
out how much I need to sell them for to make profit.
James wants Kealy to meet with some business contacts who will interrogate her on her pop-up plans. On the panel, Dominic McVeigh, who made his first million at just 50.
So this guy, right? Sorry, Dominic, but shade here. He was the person that invested in Front magazine or something. So he had to do with Front magazine. It used to be, I don't know if it's still going, but it used to be an alternative mag. Had a lot of topless women. But I used to buy it every now and then to treat myself. I used to really love it, seeing alternative tattooed women. I told him and he was like, yeah, I'll get you some copies. Did they ever come? No, I never got a copy. Don't say things you don't mean, please. It was off camera as well, like he didn't have to say it.
Laura Wyatt-Smith from the Prince's Trust, who give business loans to young people. And Noelle Reno, fashion entrepreneur.
The 2 other recruits that I have in the shop, we're going to try everything in our power to get people down there. Kealy, one of the main things
So this moment, I guess, I don't know if you remember the titles, but they showed me going up on the lift. So we originally filmed like a pitch going up in the lift. Not only that, the day before, it was the day before, the 2 days before, I wrote a whole song on the ukulele with the pitch. I don't know what's happened to it. I thought it was kind of genius that I managed to write in a day, or it was in a couple of hours, a whole pitch on the ukulele, and they were like, no, we're not going to use it. Not only that, I felt quite nervous doing, like, singing to them. So we did the pitch and the thing, and all it was a small little shot in the beginning of me going up in the lift that was like a blink, you blink and you miss it. But yeah, this whole thing, it was quite nervous. I felt like I was being grilled. yeah, the whole day was a blur. I just remember being in this big banking building and it looking incredible and just feeling so out of place. But yeah, it's what it is.
To things like which products will be most popular, how much you could potentially sell them for. Do you think there's any more market research that you still need to do?
I'm sorry, you can tell that Laura has worked with young people from different backgrounds before. Just the way she's engaging and listening, where the other two, they've never really been in this situation before. They just want the exposure for their own companies. And they're like, okay, I want to get this over and done with. Where Laura is like, actually, I'm very interested. And the fact that she was from the Princess Trust and I worked with the Princess Trust after. And before this, actually, in 2009, I worked with the Princess Trust on a music course. Yeah, I can't fault the Princess Trust. They do brilliant work.
If you're halfway through the season and you've got 80% of your stock left, you need to be coming into sale, I think. Kealy is clearly not an idiot. She knows what she needs to deliver,
mate.
but she's only got 2 weeks to put it together. And, you know, let's not forget she has a family to look after as well. So it will be interesting to see.
For Kealy,
If I fail, then it's back to square one, really.
That Fringe!
unemployed single mum Kealy has been set a mission by her mentor, James Carr.
What I might do is fast forward through some, chop some things out. You guys don't need to watch the whole episode, just basically interesting things I react to, right? So again, like I said, the episode will be linked down below.
Turn, John.
I can't talk.
With no luck
Still.
on the phones, Kealy's decided she might be better off face to face. Today she's heading to London's trendy East End.
Just a bit worried about if the space is actually big enough to fit.
AKA she's heading around the corner from where our our offices were, because it's in walking distance. And two, the day that it was on, the location, everything just, it affected. I think if I was to do it on a Saturday in the location that we ended up getting, then it would have been more successful than it was. Or if we had gotten Box Park right by the station, then that's a really good footfall. Yeah, it is what it is.
They're going to help us
I'm so
promote
happy.
it. I'm so excited, like head over heels excitement and happiness, and can't stop smiling because we did it, and I managed to bag it, which is amazing.
This is pre-Dimples, I
There's
just
one
realised.
drawback. The shop is on a quiet side street, so it could be tricky to attract customers on the day.
Awesome. Sorry. I'm tired.
If you watch the drag makeup video, that was the video before this, you know I still squeal over things I get excited about. I think it was a brush and I was like, ah! I can't help it, guys. I'm a mouse. I squeal over things.
A further £48
That leopard bow tie is cute!
and £37 on.
Kieran, you're not opening them.
Now she has her stock, Kealy's customising some of them so she can sell them at a higher price. And she has to work around the clock to get them finished on time.
Don't. You won't get to help. It's a little bit stressful because I've got to keep an eye on the kids as well as trying to do these, which takes a lot of concentration.
They're so small! They're so small. And my flat looks so empty. This is 2 years within living here. Wow. No clutter. They're tiny and cute. And my hair, again, why did I even... I just don't know. It is what it is, isn't it? I can't change the past. My hair's like that on the internet forever.
I would not be able to do this when they're around. It's just too much to focus on. Kieran, take that sticker off your lip.
As well as making her own products, Kealy needs to keep tabs on her recruits, Katie and Lamar, so she calls a meeting.
Hey, Mr. Late. You're here. What time did you come in? They're really nice.
No shade to Lamar, but yeah, you stressed me out, boy. You stressed me out during this. Honestly. Oh, man.
They decide to spray paint the pizza boxes.
I think we spent a whole day, or like at least half a day, shooting this, and it was for what, 5 seconds of footage. I know that's how it works. Like I said before, I was an extra in Harry Potter, and I spent like 2 or 3 days doing something that was in the film for 10 seconds. I get it, but man, that was a windy day. It was a cold day. Jeez.
But they didn't account for the weather.
Yeah, it's one day only, so it looks quite dead at the moment.
So there was like a whole press morning before we opened the shop, and I don't know what happened to half the stuff that, like, there was so many photographers taking pictures that I don't even know where half of those pictures was. The actor Adam Deacon, who was in Kidulthood, ended up like cutting the ribbon for the shop, and then there was like various celebrities, like I think in the last video I talked about celebrities. They're just people doing their job, but various people coming in to be like high profile people. I just don't think it was high profile enough. It didn't gain the traction that it probably should have. There was no like proper social media game. The only social media we used was Twitter. We didn't do anything on Facebook really. We didn't do, I don't even remember if Instagram was a thing. Like yeah, it's completely different now.
Myself, Katie and Lamar here. We've had no customer.
Kealy needs to make some sales before James Carr calls in at midday.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye. First sale of the day. See you later.
Hi, Kealy.H. James.
Hi, James.
So how's it going? How many have you sold so far? Lunchtime.
Such a slow day because of the place it was, the location.
But not many sales.
20 to 3 and I've sold 8 items. We've been open for 5 hours. That's appalling.
By mid-afternoon.
Now, I'm not being funny, but as someone who suffers from depression? Someone who suffers from depression, that really got me down. The fact that we were open for so long and there was hardly anyone, and I felt like I hadn't done enough. I felt like I hadn't advertised it enough. I felt like my friends didn't care. And I still get like this sometimes as well. But it's asking people to go out of their way to help you, and not many people did. Like you saw a couple of friends. I had maybe like 5 or 6 friends that came down, or like acquaintances, and then someone I used to work with, and then a few people from the office came down. But it just it kicks you, like, because you feel like you would support your friends more, but then being realistic, not everyone has the money or the time to come down, and at that moment in time I wasn't feeling that way, so it really did get me down. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you can, support your friends, make sure you're sharing their things or liking their things, just showing them that you're there for them, because it does go a long way, especially regarding mental health.
With just an hour to go before the shop shuts,
I definitely felt like crying.
I've obviously only sold half of my stock, so I need to sell the other half. I haven't made any profit yet. I think I've made £1.
But determined Kealy rallies her team.
Last hour, it was like a mad rush.
It was, yeah.
And how did you price it? What did you say?
The last 5 minutes was, whatever you're willing to pay for it, I will take. Let's get rid of all of them.
Runs her own business, and it's off benefits for life.
Thank you.
Really proud of you.
Kealy's developed her bow tie business plan and has now been given her startup loan. For more on Kealy's story, go to channel4.com/Battlefront.
Okay, it wasn't the $2.5 grand, and it wasn't via the startup loan, it was via Princess Trust, and I think it was £250, I think. Which, do you know what, it's still money and it still helps you get some stuff done. But the mentoring was different. Oh look, narrator Russell Kane, I love Russell Kane, it's very funny. Anyway, where was I going with the story? So the show was a really good experience, one of the best jobs I've ever had. Unfortunately, I'm not really that much in touch with people from the show. Ava and I have exchanged words recently, and she's a very lovely girl. I really got on with Chelsea as well. I haven't really spoken to her for years. Miles, he's just kind of cancelled me off social media, but we never really got on anyway, so I don't blame him for that. But yeah, it was a great experience. It's on 4AD if you want to watch it. This is a very long video. I'm going to try and chop it up as much as I can so it's not that long. That's me reacting to Channel 4's Battlefront, which happens to have myself as an episode focus. Guys, I want you to love and be loved. Don't forget to social distance, wash your hands, cover your mouth, and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.